As someone who's been an avid complainer about how short these Peacemaker episodes are, I've been proven right again. I'm not gonna lie to you, but I will say this time it was short, but it packed a motherfucking punch. Peacemaker Season 2, Episode 7 had hella reveals. One that was crazy to me. We got more vigilante, we got more comedy, and we got more build up for the next episode, which is looking to be one of the biggest episodes in DCU history. I'm saying that like the DCU isn't a year old. But hey, man, let's break down this episode. Let's get into my thoughts and my opinions. Because you know we got to talk about it. Let's get it. Let's start off with Peacemaker's white privilege. Yes, I said that. White privilege. I don't give a fuck if you get mad. Letting him blind himself to where he didn't notice the Mein Kampf, the fucking Nazi flag, and I don't know, this giant fucking mural of the mustache man himself. That's actually preposterous. That is one of the most blasphemous things I've ever heard. But I guarantee there's a big percentage of the world out there, I'd probably say at least 10%, that would go through the exact same thing as this nigga right here. It's kind of crazy. I didn't think James Gunn was going to go all in like this. I mean, a mural of the mustache man himself in your Peacemaker show? Oh, all right, okay. We get to see Peacemaker and Hardcore start, you know, giving those Nazis the wake they deserve. You feel what I'm saying? So I can let it slide a little bit. And it's John Cena, so I can also let it slide a lot of bit. You feel what I'm saying? But that's strike two, gang. I ain't gonna hold you. They're in there murking those Nazi scumbags. We got Adebayo still here being chased by the crazy mob of people from last episode. You feel what I'm saying? And then for some odd reason, James Gunn, I don't know why you wrote this, gang. I know why you wrote it eventually because we had to get there, but she jumps into the pool. Who are you out swimming in the pool, gang? And it's not like a local pool. You feel what I'm saying? One of those fat ass pools that got the 5 feet, the 6 feet, the 10 feet. Nah, nigga, this is a backyard pool. That shit had to be like 7 feet max. What? No way you thought you could swim that fast. That's when I didn't think this was how Judo Master was going to be using this episode, but he pulls up. He reaches out with the hand of God like, oh, let me save you. And then he lights those motherfuckers up, or electrocutes them, I should say. I guess. Which is now his biggest number of people that he electrocuted in the pool, which was previously 4. Didn't know that, but now we do. See, this whole episode was like a whole changing of the guard when it comes to Judo Master, his personality, the way we view him in this show. He's a pretty cool guy, you feel what I'm saying? He had a nice conversation with Ads where they were playing some Scrabble because, you know, everything's different there. And it was pretty solid. I know some people probably aren't going to like that dialogue there because it is kind of spoon feeding you some of the themes of the episode. I ain't going to hold you. When she literally says, you know, this world and our world isn't that different. Like, I mean, I guess y'all don't get what I'm trying to say. That point needed to be hammered on top of our head, but for some niggas out there, maybe it did. This is one of my favorite parts of not only this episode, but this season, bro. Vigilante and Vigilante 2. I would watch a whole spin-off show on this. Maybe not a spin-off show, but maybe a little short episode. You feel what I'm saying? A 40-minute episode documenting the Vigilante experience would be awesome. Seeing them go back and forth, talking about the Nazi world, the difference between our world and their world. And Vigilante 2 is like, oh, you must live in a utopia then. And the Vigilante's like, that version of, you know, kind of spoon feeding the parallels to the viewer is way better. Just making it a little joke than, but it's 2 different parallels. You got Vigilante, this nigga is a joke, if you know what I'm saying, and you got Ads, you got Judo Master having a real life conversation about it. I think the more I think about it, I think it's pretty solid. It gets to the point where Vigilante says that he showed up here with a woman who's technically black. What does that even mean? What do you mean by that? What does technically black mean? So Vigilante 2 says we need to make a move right now or you're going to see your friend again. So they go ahead back towards the mansion. Where we see at the mansion, John Economos, the big mouth himself, after getting stabbed in the hand. Oh, this dude's so soft. He's soft as baby shit. He's still sitting here yapping his fucking ass off, talking to Peacemaker's dad, Auggie. He actually calls his son Keith during the whole chase scene, you feel what I'm saying? And he tells him, nah, drop that shit. This is way more important. Come back to the crib now. Because when we start to see that low-key, Auggie has hella sympathy and is honestly acting way different than the original version of Auggie that we knew who was one of the biggest pieces of shits of all time. You feel what I'm saying? I mean, when he's telling Keith about what's going on with Chris and the potential that his brother got offed by this alternate version of Chris, Keith is out here about to crash out. You feel what I'm saying? Augie's like, wait a minute. We got to hear them out. So they go and meet Chris. All this going on while Chris and Amelia Hardcore finally get a little heart-to-heart too, a little moment for themselves. You feel what I'm saying? It was beautiful. Until, you know, White Dragon pulled up. Or Blue Dragon. My bad. Don't want to confuse those two. Blue Dragon and Captain Triumph pulled up. And they offed all them cops. They said, get them out of here. Get them out of here. Then to get offed. It's actually crazy how much, like, sympathy goes out the window when it's a Yahtzee getting offed. Like, I was just like, it is what it is. We get this really, really intense scene, man, where basically Auggie wants to know everything that's going on. He wants to know why they're here. He wants to know what happened to his version of his son. And when Peacemaker, who's John Cena acted his fucking ass off in this episode, bro, who's just being super sympathetic, giving a full heart spiel, you feel what I'm saying? How he just wanted a family, how he just wanted to feel like he belonged. And Augie's sitting here, he's being really understanding. He's like, man, I don't think he meant to murk our son, or my son, not our son. Whoa! He just genuinely believes everything that Chris is saying and that he wants to be better, that he didn't mean to do it. So he tells him, hey, who else did you come here with? Wrangle them all up so y'all can get up out of here, you feel what I'm saying? That's when Amelia Hardcore calls him a Yahtzee, and he actually takes major offense to that. He doesn't just get a little offense. He takes major offense. He says he's not no Yahtzee. He doesn't agree with their ideals, you feel what I'm saying? He fights what he can fight, but at the end of the day, he's just one man. He can't fight a whole country's ideals, you feel what I'm saying? And of course, during this insane reveal that Auggie isn't a Nazi in this universe, that he actually is a decent human being in this universe, Vigilante pulls up. My boy Vigilante jumps through that window. Both of them, by the way. Just like season 1, he said there's kinks in the armor. He gets him again. Nah, I kind of must have the perfect reaction for that shit, bro. This is literally me. I was like, he's not a Yahtzee? He's getting murked? And this is when shit just starts hitting the fan, bro. You got the cops pulling up. You got Captain Triumph going crazy. You got everybody trying to get back into the interdimensional portal. You feel what I'm saying? Shit was hitting the fan. But in the midst of that, we still had the double Vigilante aura farm, man. Ooh. It was brief. It was short, probably shorter than it should have been. You feel what I'm saying? But seeing the Vigilantes go to work, seeing them defend everybody, seeing them put in the work on the paint. Oh my goodness, man. Elite. Also, it wouldn't surprise me if next episode we find out that the Vigilantes switch places. It would not surprise me whatsoever. Not gonna lie, shit was hitting the fan too hard though, because by the end of it, you had everybody, literally everybody, Judo Master, Vigilantes, Adebayo, everybody holding down Keith, stabbing him repeatedly, trying to off this dude, while Peacemaker's literally sitting there like this, and he lets out one of the most terrifying, horrifying, I felt it in my body, bro. It made me feel bad. I genuinely felt gross watching that as he relives his childhood trauma in front of his eyes. He just watches his pops get offed again. And it was a good version of him this time, too. He watched Keith get offed again, but this time the adult version. He didn't have to do it himself, thankfully. But it was real tough for my boy John Cena. I can't lie to you. Hey, I ain't gonna hold you, though. He better get nominated for an Emmy simply for this scene. This is one of the most impactful scenes that I've seen in a superhero TV show. Ed is eventually able to console him enough to get him to go through the portal. You feel what I'm saying? And while that's going on, Amelia Hardcore, she tries to off him. You feel what I'm saying? So he can't come back and look for him later. But the cops get in the way, and Vigilante does this insane kick to close the door. You did not need to do all that, Vigilante. You were just flexing. No, I get it. It makes me feel like I can't show the screenshot of Keith because he's bloody as hell in the hospital bed. You feel what I'm saying? But that makes me think that maybe he'll have to do with the Earth X plotline that comes back later, if it does come back. If not, I guess that can just be an unexplored plotline. I don't know. James Gunn, though, he wouldn't keep Keith alive if he didn't have a rhyme or reason for it. Maybe Keith is one of the reasons why we get an Earth X invasion. You feel what I'm saying? But let me not go too deep into that. Let me get to that's my theory bag. Let me make that in a different video. But the episode ends with a standoff between Argus, led by Rick Flag Sr., and Peacemaker's 11th Street kids, where Peacemaker hands over the QUC. He says it was all on him, that they came in there to get him, to convince him to give it to the government. And to their chagrin, they agree, and Peacemaker is sent back to prison. Honestly, it was a pretty wild episode. This episode was all over the place. You got hella reveals. You got hella information for next episode, hella setup. This episode felt like an alley-oop. Last episode felt like an alley-oop. This episode felt like a second alley-oop. Hopefully next week we get a slam dunk, because if not, I'm gonna be a tad bit disappointed. I can't hold you. But how did y'all feel about this episode, man? Did you like it? Was this one of your favorites? Did you dislike it? Did you think it was too short? Let's talk about it all and more in the comments down below, because you know we gotta talk about it. Simple.